Well, New Jersey Governor Christie ending his state's shutdown after getting heat for the picture of him enjoying the beach. We've all seen it by now, while the budget impasse kept a lot of people off the Jersey shore. Christie's shrugging all of this off, saying that the picture isn't a big deal, no big deal. But what really is the big deal is possibly that 10 other states don't have budgets in place. How can that be? Let's bring in our panel, Republican strategist and co-chair for the pro-Trump Great America PAC, Eric Beach, and host of the Last Podcast on the Left, political commentator Ben Kissel. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. You can probably guess who I'm going to start with, since we're talking about a beach, Eric. So your response to this, I mean, was Christie left with a whole lot of options after he was busted on the beach in terms of negotiating this deal? I mean, did he pretty much have to come to an agreement after this?
Sure. Well, befitting you bring Eric Beach in for Beachgate, Heather. Happy Fourth to you. No, well, look, at the end of the day, he signed the budget, and this has been a long chain of a negotiating ploy by him to, the Assembly Speaker. But the real issue is, 242 years later, in fighting the Revolutionary War, we fought over taxation without representation. And in many states across the country, and even federally, we still see that today, where, we have these tax and spend Democrats or liberals that keep wanting to spend, but there's no control over it. And so you have these Republican governors, or in so many states like my state, California, where you have a minority that's able to, try to help reduce that spending or even roll that back. We have to keep fighting that good fight, because right now it's out of control.
Yeah, back to the Revolutionary War, we weren't dealing with, $34.7 billion budgets, which is what Jersey was dealing with. Ben, before I get your comment, listen to what the governor had to say. Not apologetic at all.
I understand it's a holiday weekend and the news channels don't have anything else to cover. Now, if they had flown that plane over that beach and I was sitting next to a 25-year-old blonde in that beach chair next to me, that's a story. I wasn't sitting next to a 25-year-old blonde. I was sitting next to my wife of 31 years.
Ouch. And a baseball cap, so he didn't get any sun, Ben.
Yeah, I heard that. It's incredible. He's managed to aggravate his constituents both on land with Bridgegate and now on sea with Beachgate, which is why he is currently at around 15% approval rating, making him one of the most disliked governors in the modern era. And it really is upsetting to the people, to the constituents in New Jersey, when they see their government not functioning, and all they get is a series of excuses. Basketball players can't complain that the hoop is too high. Football players can't complain that the field is too long. And politicians have to stop complaining that they're not able to compromise. At the end of the day, those beaches belong to the people of New Jersey, just like the roads that they were driving on during Bridgegate.
Yeah, well, hopefully, since they came to this agreement, most people are back out on those beaches today for the July 4th holiday. Both Maine and New Jersey came to an agreement, but Illinois still under this partial government shutdown. They have not agreed yet. And Illinois is the fifth largest U.S. state, more than 12 million people impacted by this one. So in terms of the largest expenses that the states have to deal with, Eric, what's the biggest problem that they're facing right now?
Well, there's still uncertainty around the health care debate. Obamacare really left us with a social program.
The health care debate, infrastructure still out there, that plan?
And even education, right? A lot of times in education, we're funding these state education budgets, and they're going to, the public service unions, as opposed to really going, to the students themselves. And so, really, this is boiled down to failed policies over the last 50 years. We see this also in America's major cities. And at some point in time, voters need to stop rewarding these legislators and these bureaucrats that just keep tax and spending when there's not results to be had.
Yeah, Ben, we have to have a budget. We have to keep ourselves in check, or at least we're supposed to, or else we get in trouble. So why don't they?
It's two set of standards, and there was nothing more obvious that there was two different realities that these politicians and their constituents are living in, and that's what happened with when it comes to the optics of the photo of Christie and his family on the beach as his constituents were forced to be off the beach. So they live in two different realities, and that's really what is aggravating the American people, both on a national level and on a state level.
Yeah, I have to give our floor director Dave credit for this. A wave of controversy and opinions following that picture. Thank you both for joining us. Happy 4th to both of you.
Happy 4th. Thank you.
Happy 4th.
Bye-bye.